Hello, I'm Chelsea, you're watching Cheap Holiday Expert, and I'm joined today by the one, the only, Robbie Knox.
I think there's probably another one, but yeah.
Really?
Well, probably.
You're the best one.
Thank you.
And I've got the best one here to, well, this is a little bit different from something you've watched on this channel before because it's not a vlog. We're going to have a discussion, Robbie.
A debate.
Because I think we have very alternative viewpoints to a certain subject.
It's skiing, isn't it?
It is skiing. We're going to be talking about skiing and challenging the fact that I have a lot of negative thoughts about skiing.
Okay.
And to do that, I've actually prepared something.
Wonderful. I have a lot of positive thoughts about skiing, so I will refute each of your arguments one by one until you eventually book a flight skiing at the end of the
that's
video.
your goal with this?
My goal is for you to want to go skiing by the end of this.
Yeah. Well, I'm just going to put out there that it might be
Just see
quite
the
difficult.
title of it.
Because the title of my list is Why Skiing is Shit. And it's been a long-held opinion. And I'm going to put out there right now that I've done no research into why skiing might be good. I'm literally coming at this from the most negative stance.
I spend approximately 90% of my waking life planning skiing holidays or looking at skiing holidays, so I will come
feel
from
like
a position of research.
Yeah, you're the perfect person to come against me in this. So,
Thank you.
Yeah, your job is to try and change my mind, essentially.
Okay, I'm ready.
And please, before we begin, leave a comment. What do you think about skiing beforehand? And let's see if we manage to change a few people's minds, not just me.
Right, good.
Right. Number one, it's too expensive.
No, is the answer.
Rubbish.
No, right. What would be your budget for a holiday? Give us a budget.
Okay. There is a multi-level kind of reasoning behind why I think it's too expensive.
Yeah.
Flying there, fine.
Yeah.
Staying there, I haven't done the research, so you'll have to tell me that.
Yeah.
For me, the fact you have to buy a lift pass, then
Yep.
you have to rent or buy equipment, and then you have to buy or learn how to ski. There are so many different levels. My perfect holiday is when you can just go away, rock up, and then it's up to you what you spend. You can go to the cheap places if you want.
Yep.
That's a true budget holiday. I don't think you can do a budget ski holiday.
I went skiing with two of my children, just me and the two of them, to Bulgaria, and all in, half board, including childcare and ski lessons for two children, my ski pass, everything, equipment hire and everything, was about £500 each for
How long?
for the week. So you could go, if you go to Bulgaria in the first week of January, you could get a week skiing with everything apart from drinks and lunch that you would need for around £500, I'd say.
Okay, that's not outrageous.
You would need some kind of winter clothes to wear.
Wouldn't it include clothes?
Wouldn't include clothes, because I'm not going to provide you with your clothes. You've got to come with clothes.
I'm sorry, but I want my clothes.
You can go to Decathlon, you can get cheap clothes, you can buy second-hand clothes.
Yeah, but
TK Maxx has clothes. And also,
But when are you going to wear them again?
exactly what I'm about to get to, you don't wear them that often if you're skiing, which means you've probably got a friend who's got clothes you can borrow, because they won't be using them at the same time as you.
But there's just a lot of things, there's a lot of add-on costs when it comes to skiing. You can't get a £10 flight, rock up, and then have a £50 budget.
For a week?
And have a £100 budget for a week.
No.
Okay, but your point is, so why should I spend this money on skiing?
Because it's good. It's brilliant. It's a holiday where you're doing stuff. I get so bored if I go to a beach and I'm just sat there doing nothing. I always think it'd be quite nice to read, and then you read for about an hour, and you go, "Oh, I'm quite bored of reading now, and I'm here for another 6 days." Whereas then you're doing something. It's a beautiful place. You're in the mountains. You're in these stunningly beautiful areas. There's a big sort of drinking culture. I know my audience here. I know what we're going for. There's lots of great food. Some of the best meals I've ever had have been in little huts up the mountain that you have to ski to. You couldn't get to on foot, so you literally couldn't go to it unless you're skiing.
I like that adventure element to it.
The adventure element. The actual skiing bit is such a minor part of a ski holiday. It's about being in this unique sort of environment that you don't get anything else than a mountain village.
But let's just do a quick comparison.
Yep.
Yeah? That's Bulgaria, right?
Mm-hmm.
How good is the skiing in Bulgaria?
It'll be fine for your first ski trip.
Okay, cool.
It's
but how much would it cost in Switzerland? Is that
Switzerland's a bit more expensive. But okay, I'll give you an example. France. We are going in to Morzine in France, which is a great resort. It's in Port de Slay, which is the second biggest ski area. So you've got a huge amount of skiing you can do. We paid for flights to Geneva, not a great deal. I think probably about 60 quid each, or something like that, 60, 70 quid each. And accommodation, we're going with us, three families of us going, if we're allowed to go after all this. We've got a 14-bed place, 14-bed chalet, self-catering, for £2,100 total. So for a week, that works out £150 per person.
Okay, now you're talking my numbers.
It's a great looking place.
Okay, so it doesn't have to be proper expensive.
It doesn't have to be expensive. There, you're going to pay more for your ski pass. You'll probably pay a couple hundred, over 200 quid, I reckon, for a week's ski pass.
Oh, do you know where I've heard is good for skiing? I don't know anything about skiing, but I have heard Poland, Zakopane.
Quite possibly, I don't know. I've never been.
It looks beautiful, and I have actually looked that up before because I like Poland and it's cheap once you're there.
I should say, when I'm talking these Bulgarian prices, that's a package deal. You could get the individual elements
for
better,
cheaper.
and you could stay, if you didn't stay in the resort and you were getting taxis in each day, you could get it for next to nothing, like for the accommodation side. But
I will say that those prices are not unrealistic, and they would probably fit into a budget kind of thing. So fine. But this is my next thing. You need to be able to ski.
No. Yeah, it is good to be able to learn to ski or to ski, but I've organised ski trips before. I used to organise an annual ski trip for me and my friends and their friends and that. And there were like about 40 people going at a time, and there were people there who didn't ski at all. My wife goes and she doesn't ski. Some people just go tobogganing, some people just go for the drinking.
Oh, hang on. Yeah. You sit in like something and someone pushes you?
You sit on it and just slide down.
Okay.
There's tubing where you sit in a rubber ring. Some resorts have, you can slide down that.
Okay, this changes.
This is good, isn't it? Winning you over here.
Because I am a person who I can hardly stand without falling over. Like, I have tried dry ski slope skiing.
Much harder.
And so I think I was about 14.
Yeah.
And I could not get past, they didn't give you poles.
No, they don't when you begin. Yeah.
I was like, where's my poles though? And we went down this hill, and to be fair, by the end of the day, I managed to get up to the top and go all the way down. I did crash into the bottom.
It's much harder turning on dry ski slopes. When you go into snow, you'll find it a lot easier.
Just straight.
All right, that's
to the bottom.
You will need to learn more then, yes, eventually. But you could get the ways in Europe. The runs go green are the easiest, then blue, then red, then black. And if you started and did ski lessons for a week while you're there, I would say by the end of the week you'll be able to do green and most blue.
Right.
You could try. My son could get on the blue runs in Bulgaria when we were there after a week.
How old was your son?
He was 5 at the time. So you'd be fine.
I absolutely would not be. But I like your belief in me. Yeah. That's really special. Skiing or snowboarding?
I ski.
Okay, why?
Because I learned how to do it first.
Right.
And also I think there was a bit where snowboarding sort of seemed a bit cooler because it was new, and then sort of like the more cooler bits of skiing came back, sort of thing. It's all the same. The thing I find, there's bits in snowboarding where you have to take your board off, whereas skis you can always just keep going on your skis. It's a bit annoying if you get there's an uphill bit, you can just push yourself on your poles, and you can do that. Otherwise, you've got to take your board off and stuff like that.
I like the sort of poles. My mum had a bad back for a while when we were kids and got crutches from the hospital, and I used to put my rollerblades on and use the crutches to ski with. So I feel like I've already probably nailed the technique.
You're pretty much there, I think. Yeah.
So my next one. You can't just travel with hand luggage. I like to travel light, especially on a Ryanair flight when they don't allow me to have any extra luggage.
Yep.
You must have to pay for all the extra luggage, and it's just a lot of faff to have to carry it.
What sort of stuff? What do you think you're taking?
Coats, big coats.
You can wear a coat.
Ooh, do you have to wear it all on the plane? I'm
not taking multiple coats. You know, with the big trousers are just trousers. They're not especially big.
What?
Well, they're
I
padded.
Don't know anything about skiing.
They're just a different material to.
But they look really padded.
They're not padded. They're just a different. They're just a waterproof material.
Do you put air in them or something? Why does everyone not like?
Well, there's some kind of insulation in them to keep them warm, but they're not that big.
But do you wear them on the flight?
No, because they're not that big. They're just trousers.
Okay, so you can squish them in your
bag. They can go in there as long as you just wear your coat on the flight. Because you don't want an extra coat anyway. You only want one coat.
No, you're right. That's fair.
Wear a pair of shoes. Wear footwear that is suitable for being in snow.
Okay.
And then just normal stuff. There's not that much to take. I think you could probably get away with a little bag if you needed to.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I assume you don't take equipment with you. You hire them up whilst you're out there.
I do, but you don't. It's
I've seen
easy to hire.
people like checking into big luggage.
Yeah, I have the big luggage. I've got my own skis and boots, but most people don't. And there'd be no point in getting them when you're a beginner because the skis you have, you grow out of quite quickly when you're learning.
Do you feel superior when you check them in?
Yeah, because mine are in a really big orange, really bright thing. It looks like that thing that they used to have in Baywatch.
I think
carry
it's
really
such
big
a power move.
Yeah, it is, and I love my skis. But I've got them because I'm quite good at it, and I figured it, and I was going on 2 ski trips in 1 year, and I thought, okay, I might as well just buy
invest.
them. Invest, and
because it would make it cheaper for you.
I don't think it would, no, but it would make it more enjoyable for me because I'm skiing on skis that I know I like.
Fair enough. Yeah, sometimes you should pick the enjoyable reason, not the cheap reason. People on this channel don't understand that.
It's not enjoyable, holiday expert, is it?
Okay, the next one. This is okay. I believe this is probably my biggest reason for not being into skiing, and I will preface this with the fact that I totally appreciate that I am being classist here, and I'm being unfair.
Right.
You need to be posh to ski.
No, I would not describe myself as particularly posh.
You are the poshest person I've ever met.
Do you? Okay, I'd like to. I'm trying to get upgraded to posh. No, I don't think that's true at all. And I think again,
but that is the stereotype, right?
Yeah, and there are. If you go,
it depends
where you go. If you go to a lot of resorts in the Alps, yeah, there will be a lot of posh people. If you go to, again, I'm going to bring up Bulgaria, but there are other options as well. There are other cheaper things. But Bulgaria is the cheapest, really, that you can get package flights in the UK to. No, definitely not posh people there. A real mix of people. And you seem to get quite a lot of people who have started skiing later in life there, who definitely aren't posh sort of thing, like people men in their 50s and stuff like that.
Okay.
There's quite a lot of that. So no, I don't think it is. It depends where you go. But certainly, if you go to one of the top alpine resorts, there will be a lot of posh people there. Yeah.
Okay.
All posh people ski. But some people who ski aren't posh.
Okay.
Right.
That's a nice general rule. I like that.
Yeah.
Where would you go if you were looking for like a young, cool, kind of trendy ski resort?
So, not necessarily the cheapest.
By the way, I'm pretty sure I don't fit into that.
That's fine. I do, so I'll let you know where I would go.
Thank you.
There's a lot of great sort of party resorts in the Alps. St Anton supposedly has the best.
Party?
Yeah.
I genuinely know nothing.
You never heard of après ski?
I have heard of après ski.
Okay. So generally, what you would do, most resorts you'll come off the mountain, you have a drink.
Après ski, which I assume means after skiing, right?
Yes. I didn't know you spoke French.
Oui, oui.
Formidable.
But what's it? Is that just drinking, or is it just everything after?
It's generally drinking. It's so a lot of the way I would do.
Pre-gaming.
There's very different ways to do it. Generally, you will go down the mountain at some point when you get tired, which may be at the end of the day when the lift's shut, but it may well be a bit earlier.
Right.
And you will go to a bar as close as possible to the mountain. Basically, the first bar you get to, and you'll have some drinks there.
On to the next one.
Okay.
Oh, by the way, we're speaking about your trips to America and Canada. Yeah. Robbie on his channel has captured these.
Yeah, you can see videos if you want these. I've got a video from Bulgaria where you can learn about Bulgaria.
I should watch that.
You should watch that one. It's good.
I should have watched that for this.
It's called the cheapest ski resort in Europe, so it kind of is your
You're okay.
your
we'll
market.
link to that at the end.
And there's one from Telluride in Colorado, one from Whistler. Yeah.
Okay, and tell everybody what your aim is with your channel.
Literally, the only reason I'm doing YouTube is to get free ski trips. That's the only.
I actually think that this video will really help.
I think so. My dream, if I could have any job, it would be to be a ski resort reviewer, where I would just spend the winter, spending a week in each ski resort, making a video on each one, and then moving on to the next one a week later.
Well, you're basically a ski ambassador right
That's
now.
what I want to be.
But I'm about to hit you with a big one.
Okay.
A big reason why I don't want to do it. It is potentially very dangerous. The amount of people I've spoken to who've gone skiing who've had really terrible injuries is pretty high.
It is no more dangerous than football or cycling.
I do neither.
Okay, it's more dangerous than do nothing. The actual risk of injury is low. I mean, more if you think a football match, quite often a couple of people will end up with an injury at the end of that sort of thing.
Yeah.
I've skied for years. I've never had a
what's
really
the injury ratio versus sitting at home watching Netflix?
Well, I mean, it depends what you're
The
doing.
level.
If you're sat, I mean, getting exercise could help you, but can be less injured. In terms of really serious injuries, the fatality rate, I know this because is 0.6 people per million die.
Oh.
It's really low. It's when something happens, it's obviously massive news.
Yeah.
But I think around the world, I think something like 30 people die a year skiing. I've never broken a bone or anything like that.
I think probably in terms of the fatality rate of a tourist going abroad for a weekend and just boozing, it's probably higher.
Yeah.
I.e., my normal weekend is probably
higher. Yeah, I mean, drinking injuries. We've had on our skiing trip. We've had we've done it for over 10 years. Our group ski trip. A couple of years there were 40 people at a time, and there were 2 people who had any sort of serious injury. Someone broke their collarbone, and someone broke their wrist. Mm-hmm. That's out of hundreds of people over 10 years.
James broke his collarbone at Leeds Festival, so
well,
I guess.
There you go.
The last reason why skiing is shit is avalanches.
Yeah, I mean, again, yes. They have avalanche control, and it's quite exciting in the mornings because what they do is, if there's an area that's at risk of avalanche, and this tends to be away from the sort of main things, they basically throw dynamite out of a helicopter into it and blow it up before anyone's up the mountain. So they cause avalanches to do it. There are bits that are well signposted you shouldn't be going in there, and if you're on the pisted runs, as in the runs that they've groomed and made perfect, it's very, very rare there's any form of avalanche in that sort of
I mean, I've
area.
put it on there, but I feel like...
No, not as... Not as, no. Someone off some chips. Should get quiet.
Smelled delicious. I've put it on there, and I do realise it's very unfair. Because
Yeah.
it's like saying, what if the hurricane happens?
Yes,
Like,
I'm not going to America, there might be a hurricane.
but I'm still saying it. It's still part of my skiing.
That's fine, yeah,
shit.
you do you.
You know, I've got to go through all the things.
So we've been through it. I can see from your list we're at the end.
We are at the end.
Were there any that I didn't convince you on out of that list that you were wrong?
I would say, on price, I get what you're saying for a week long it can be good value.
Yeah.
But I still wouldn't call it a cheap holiday.
It's all relative.
Because not everyone could go on that holiday.
No.
A £500 per person holiday.
No.
Especially as a family.
Yep.
So I will say that perhaps not that, but compared to the fact that I did a week's road trip around Iceland for £600 per person, including everything, that's not too dissimilar, and that is what people would say is an expensive place to go. Do you see what I mean?
Yeah, definitely. I think, I mean, if you could definitely do it cheaper than £500 if you had to, and you were going to stay in an apartment out there. But there's a bit where I think you lose a lot of it if you aren't staying in the resort.
No,
do you know what I mean? If you're staying a little bit outside, if you're a town down the road in Bulgaria, it would cost you a few pounds a night.
And that is something that I do always say, that sometimes it's not just about getting the cheapest deal possible, because you don't want it to be at a detriment to your actual holiday.
Yeah.
But I will say, I've taken your thoughts into consideration.
Are you going to go?
You have
really
persuaded me. I feel like I can't be this judgmental and then not give it a chance.
Let me just tell you that we've focused on the negative. Let me tell you why it's so brilliant.
Okay, yeah.
Because what you do is, this is your day. You get up, you go and do a really fun activity. And I'm quite a good skier. I can get down the sort of hard bits. But most of the time, I'm just going from A to B, feeling the wind through your hair. You cycle. You like going fast on a bike.
Yeah.
It's like that, but just gliding around, glorious sunshine sometimes. If you've got nice fresh snow, glorious sunshine, there's nothing I enjoy more. And then you just go along. Oh, well, it's about 10 o'clock. I'm a bit tired, you know. Let's just stop here for a little coffee. Maybe a little.
I do like that.
Maybe a little board of like cold charcuterie. I used to go up quite early because I would quite go up before when other people were getting up. I go, I'm going to do a few runs when you meet you up there at 10. I remember finding this great restaurant that had this wonderful views over this valley, and I just got this like little tray of charcuterie and a little coffee, and just sat there and just waiting for everyone to come up. That's great.
He knows to talk about food and drink, and that I'll be on board.
As I say, some of the best meals I've had. You can just ski to these places, these little huts at the mountain that you just go, what's that place in there? You go in there and they've got these log fires, this incredible food, and you literally could not get there without skiing. And then you ski down the mountain at the end of the day. into a bar straight away. Maybe some nachos, depending on where you are. Maybe a bit of pizza or something, like a little snack or something. Hello, yeah. Where did that come from? A few more drinks. Maybe go back to depending on where you're staying, you might go back to the hot tub for a little bit, then go out, bars, restaurants, clubs.
Okay.
That's one day.
Okay.
And then you do that every day for a week.
Okay, what you've done there is you know that I like
I know exactly what
food.
I've done. Yeah.
You know that I like a beer. You know that I like a little activity in between to like tell myself that I'm doing something.
Yep.
But ultimately, you have described a somewhat perfect holiday.
Yeah. So you're gonna go.
I think you might have actually persuaded. And genuinely, I'm not just doing this in the video. I really thought skiing is shit.
Did you think I was going to persuade you?
Do you know what? I thought it might take a bit more persuasion.
Right.
But I am aware that you can't really slag something off without trying it. Like.
Yeah. To a degree. Yeah.
Like, you would have always had the moral high ground here. If I'd said to you now, like, no, sorry, I still think it's shit, you would have come out.
No, if I hadn't convinced you, no, I wouldn't have accepted the.
No, okay, fine. I think when we are able to travel again, I might dabble. Right. Especially as, and please tell me, it might be interesting to see just how cheap I can do it for, but still make it good.
Yeah, 100%.
And you could be my skiing consultant.
I could be your consultant, and I will help put together a glorious package for you.
Fantastic. Well, thank you, Robbie, so much.
Thank you for having me. It's got increasingly dark as the video's gone on, but that's fine.
And thank you for putting up with the noises of all the cars coming past.
Yeah.
Atmospheric, we're inviting you in. That's what's been happening. We have just finished filming a video for Robbie's channel, and it is my favourite series on YouTube. I'm not even just saying that because you're here. I genuinely
But you would have done anyway. You said anyway.
I definitely would have. So we've just been on a walk for Robbie's channel. So go and watch that and go check out his skiing videos. But thank you so much, Robbie. Cheers. To the next skiing holiday.
Get another pint.
Yeah.